Hello subscribers and my dear students. As we know that we are going through the pandemic of COVID-19, so I request you to be safe at home and use all the precautions. Today I am back with another interesting video. Hope you learn from it. Let's start. Hello dear students. Today my topic of discussion is classification of cost. When it comes to classification of cost, we divide classification of cost under various subhead. So first of all, we divide it on the basis of elements. Now when you say about elements, the cost here include is material, number 2 labor, and number 3 expenses. Now what is material cost? Material cost are the cost of material used for the manufacturing or manufacture of a product. A particular work order. Okay. Example is cloth for making dress. Then we have labor cost. Labor cost is defined as total expenditure borne by employer in order to employ workers. Labor cost includes remuneration. Okay? Remuneration for work carried out as direct cost. They also include indirect cost linked to employee independently of the remuneration paid by the employer, such as indirect social benefit or vocational training costs, so on. Next we have expenses. Expenses is defined as money extended expended or cost incurred in a firm's effort to generate revenue. They may be in form of actual cash payments such as wages and salaries. Okay, whereas all expenses are cost, but not all costs such as incurring acquisition of income generating expenses or assets. Okay, so expenses is money extended or cost incurred in a firm. Okay, they may be in the form of actual cash payment too. Then we discuss classification of cost on the basis of functions. When it comes to function, the first we get is factory cost. Factory cost, the cost of the sequence of operation which begins with the supply of material, labor, services and end with primary packing of the product. It includes the cost of direct material, labor, direct expenses and factory overhead. This is the cost of the sequence of operations which begins with supply of materials, then labor, services. This type of cost are factory cost because all the direct expenses, labor and overhead are connected with it. Second, we have administrative cost. Administrative cost. The cost of formulating the policy. This include what? The cost of formulating the policy, directing the organization and controlling the operations of undertaking. Yes. Next we have selling cost. Selling cost is the cost of seeking to create and stimulate demand. Example: advertisement, showroom expenses, sales promotion, discount to distributors, free repairs, etc. And the fourth one we have distribution cost. It includes the operations which begin with making the product, then available for dispatch, and again also available for reuse also. The distribution cost include all expenses concerned with dispatching, all the cost incurred with dispatching and delivery of finished goods to customer. Then on the basis of identifiability, we break up the cost into two. First is direct cost. What is direct cost? The expenses on materials and labor economically and easily traceable to a product, service or a job. In the process of manufacture or production of articles, materials are purchased, labors are employed and wages are paid to them. Certain other expenses are also incurred directly. Since all these take active and direct part in the manufacturing, so they are called as direct cost. Example, the cost of meat in a burger. Yes. Secondly, we have indirect cost. Indirect cost. What is indirect cost? This is the expenses incurred on those items which are not directly chargeable to production. Example, in case of production, salaries paid to the timekeeper, storekeeper, foreman. Okay, these are all indirect expense, indirect cost, and all this cost cannot be conveniently allocated to production. All these cost cannot be conveniently allocate to production. Okay, then classification on basis of activity or volume. So first we have fixed cost. Fixed cost is a cost which tends to be unaffected by variation in volume of output, which tends to be unaffected by variation in volume of output. Fixed costs mainly depend on passage of time and does not vary directly with the volume of output. It is also called as period cost. For example, this one, rent, insurance, they are always fixed. It may be noted that fixed cost remain fixed up to a certain level only, and these costs may change after certain levels of production. Second, we have semi variable cost. Semi variable cost are partly fixed and partly variable. Because of the variable element, they fluctuate with volume, and because of the fixed element, they do not change in direct proportion to output. Okay, example are depreciation, then telephone rent, repairs, and the last we have variable cost. Variable cost, the cost which tends to vary directly with the volume of outputs. It is a direct cost. It includes direct material, labor expenses. It should be noted that variable cost per unit is constant, but total cost changes corresponding to the levels of output, and it is always expressed in terms of units, not in terms of time. So today we discuss about element classification of cost on the basis of element, material, labor and expenses. Then on the basis of function we have factory cost, administrative cost, selling cost and distribution cost. Then we discuss on the basis of identifiability, direct cost, indirect cost, and finally we discuss on the basis of activity volume, fixed cost, semi-variable cost and variable cost. Thank you for subscribing my channel and watching my video. Tomorrow I'll be back with another video. If you have till not now subscribed my channel, kindly subscribe it.